Hey, Botanical Bliss family, how's everyone doing today? I'm so excited to dive into one of the most popular hydroponic crops out there, hydroponic tomatoes. Growing tomatoes hydroponically is a game changer. Not only do you get a high yield of delicious homegrown tomatoes, but the process can be incredibly rewarding, even for beginners. If you're ready to try growing hydroponic tomatoes at home, then this guide is for you. I'm going to walk you through everything from setting up your hydroponic system to managing those tomato plants so they thrive. Before we jump in, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with your fellow garden enthusiasts, and let's get those tomatoes growing. Now you might be asking yourself, why hydroponics? Well, tomatoes are one of the best crops for hydroponic growing, and for good reason. Hydroponic systems allow you to grow tomatoes with less soil-borne disease, greater control over nutrients, and often faster growth. In a hydroponic setup, the plants are able to get all the nutrients they need directly through the water, so they don't have to work as hard to find nutrients like they would in traditional soil. One of the biggest advantages is that you can grow hydroponic tomatoes indoors or in areas where the soil isn't ideal for gardening. You also avoid the issues with soil-borne pests like root rot that can sometimes plague traditional garden tomatoes. So, you can enjoy fresh tomatoes all year long no matter where you live. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of growing hydroponic tomatoes, let's quickly talk about the different types of hydroponic systems you can use. There are a few popular setups that work well for tomatoes, and knowing the basics of each can help you decide what's best for you. 1. Deep water culture, DWC. DWC is a simple popular system where your tomato plants are suspended in a nutrient-rich water solution. The roots are submerged in the water, and an air pump keeps the solution oxygenated to help the roots grow strong. This method is great for fast-growing tomatoes and is a common choice for hydroponic gardeners who want quick results. 2. Nutrient film technique, NFT. In an NFT system, water continuously flows over the roots in a thin film, ensuring the plants have access to nutrients while also preventing waterlogging. This method is energy efficient and works great for small to medium-sized tomato varieties, but it requires a bit more attention to keep the flow steady and the roots well supported. 3. Ebb and flow, flood and drain. Ebb and flow is another common hydroponic system where the growing tray periodically floods with nutrient solution, then drains back into the reservoir. This system is very versatile and works well for tomatoes, especially if you're growing larger plants that need more support and stability. It's a bit more hands-on but can yield great results if done right. 4. Wick system. The wick system is the simplest of them all, using a wick to draw nutrient solution from a reservoir to the roots of the plants. While it's not as fast or efficient as other systems, it's a good low-maintenance choice for small-scale hydroponic gardening and can work for growing dwarf tomato varieties. Now that you have a better understanding of the different hydroponic systems, let's go step by step on how to set up your hydroponic system for growing tomatoes. Don't worry, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, I'll break this down so you can get started with confidence. Step 1. Choose your hydroponic system. The first thing you need to do is choose the right hydroponic system based on your space, budget, and growing preferences. If you're just starting out, a deep water culture (DWC) system might be the easiest to get into. If you have limited space, a wick system might be a great place to start. For more advanced growers, NFT or ebb and flow could offer more control and higher yields. Step 2. Gather materials. Once you've decided on your hydroponic system, it's time to gather your materials. Here's what you'll need for a basic DWC setup. You can adapt it for other systems too. A reservoir to hold your nutrient solution, net pots to support the tomato seedlings, hydroponic growing medium like clay pellets or perlite to hold the plants in place, a water pump for NFT or ebb and flow systems, or an air pump for DWC systems, hydroponic nutrient solution designed for tomatoes, pH meter to monitor your nutrient solution's pH, tomato seedlings, ideally a compact or determinate variety, and grow lights if you're growing indoors. Step 3. Setting up your system. Let's say you're using a DWC system, it's one of the easiest for beginners. Fill your reservoir with water, make sure it's clean and free of chlorine. Add your hydroponic nutrients to the water according to the instructions on the label. For tomatoes, you'll need a nutrient solution that has the right balance of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, as well as micronutrients. Check the pH of your nutrient solution. Tomato plants prefer a pH of 5.5 to 6.5, so adjust it with pH up or down solutions if necessary. Place your net pots filled with your chosen growing medium into the top of the reservoir. Make sure the roots of the seedlings are in direct contact with the nutrient solution, but not fully submerged depending on your system. Connect your air pump and air stones to ensure your water stays oxygenated. Once your system is set up, it's time to plant your tomatoes. Choose a compact, determinate variety of tomato for hydroponics, as these tend to grow more vertically and are easier to manage in a confined space. You can start with young seedlings, or if you're feeling adventurous, start from seeds. If you're planting from seedlings, gently place them into the net pots and surround the roots with your growing medium like perlite or clay pellets. Make sure your plants have good support, especially as they start growing taller. You can use stakes or a trellis system to keep them upright and prevent them from toppling over. Once your tomatoes are planted, it's time to focus on regular care and maintenance. Lighting. If you're growing hydroponic tomatoes indoors, you'll need grow lights to provide at least 12 to 16 hours of light per day. Tomatoes love bright, direct light, so make sure your lights are placed close to the plants without burning them. Water and nutrients. Check your nutrient solution every week and replenish it as needed. Tomatoes are heavy feeders, so make sure they're getting plenty of calcium and potassium for strong growth and fruit production. Also, keep an eye on your water levels, as the plants will drink up a lot. Pruning. Keep your tomato plants healthy by pruning off any dead leaves or suckers, those small shoots that form between the main stem and branches. This helps the plant focus on producing fruit rather than excessive foliage. Pollination. Tomatoes need pollination to produce fruit. If you're growing them indoors, you can gently shake the plants or use a soft paintbrush to move pollen from flower to flower. The best part about growing hydroponic tomatoes is that you'll soon get to harvest the fruits of your labor. Depending on the variety you've chosen, your tomatoes will typically be ready to harvest in about 60 to 90 days after planting. Look for mature, ripe fruits that are fully colored. If you have multiple tomatoes ripening at once, don't be afraid to cut them off the vine as they ripen. And there you have it, Botanical Bliss family, your complete guide to growing hydroponic tomatoes at home. Whether you're looking to grow tomatoes indoors or simply want a more efficient, soil-free way to produce juicy, homegrown tomatoes, hydroponics can deliver incredible results. Now that you know how to set up your system, maintain it, and grow healthy tomato plants, it's time to get started. If you enjoyed this guide, subscribe, share this video with your gardening friends, and drop a comment with your own hydroponic gardening tips or questions. I can't wait to see your hydroponic tomato gardens grow, and I'll catch you in the next video.